There was ice cream in between my toes.
Fry, why was there ice cream in your toes?
Sup, Park Peeps? I'm Demi from Magical Hijinx.
And I'm entertainment journalist Joey Nolfi, strapping in for the Park Peeps Podcast, the ultimate theme park show where unhinged passion, travel expertise, and coaster nerd chaos collide. And this week we're investigating, is Universal Kids Resort really that bad? With special guest AllEars Fry Bucket.
So buckle up and pull up on that yellow strap as we dispatch for Season 2 of the Park Peeps Podcast.
Demi, I have a question.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just clear my throat for a second before I issue this inquiry.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Why are you Shrek now?
I think after a recent pair of visits to Universal Kids Resort, the indoctrination process might be complete.
While we figure out whatever the heck is going on with my co-host's voice ahead of our full breakdown of Universal's newest theme park, Universal Kids Resort, you, dear Park Peeps listeners, can indoctrinate yourselves to our comment section. Make sure to leave a comment on this episode and subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast, because it really does help us bring you more broadcast lives from the swamp, it seems.
The swamp, not the museum. The swamp.
The swamp.
Now, we've got really exciting things to talk about in this episode today, breaking down first reactions to Universal Kids Resort, both Demi's, who just went to the park, and also some reactions that the internet has had for this park. We'll be discussing all of it. So, we're going to be talking about whether or not the park deserves all of the backlash it's gotten online, which, it's been pretty wild to witness. But another wild happening, Demi, on your trip to Dallas for this park, you also went to Six Flags Over Texas. You sure did. They are preparing to open their brand new Giga Dive Coaster Tormenta Rampaging Run, which a Giga Dive Coaster, for all of you coaster nerds, Demi has now invaded my brain with, I have to tell all of the people that what coaster nerd terms mean. It is the company, Bolliger and Mabiard, my arch nemesis, which I always talk about on this pod. They have built a 300-foot tall vertical drop roller coaster, which, as of this recording, still has not officially opened, even though it was announced to open like June 24th or 5th or something. And now it's still not open. Demi went all the way down there and she was cycling, mama, but she was not running. But we are going to get live reporting from Demi as she stood beneath the behemoth beast. So let's go now to your 2-minute tea time to hear all about Miss Tormenta Rampaging Run.
Sup, Park Peeps? Demi coming to you live from Six Flags Over Texas, where I am standing in front of the world's tallest Giga Dive Coaster, Tormenta. This is a B&M coaster with heights of 305 feet, speeds of 87 miles per hour, a 95-degree drop, and an opening date not in sight. They were supposed to open this ride on June 26th, and then a few days before the opening, Six Flags said, sorry, it's not happening. They did not give an explanation. They did not give a new opening date, but I am standing here and they have been cycling and cycling and cycling. And of course, as soon as I started recording, they stopped cycling. But I've been standing in front of this coaster for about 45 minutes and it has been nonstop cycling. So between the rumors that we've been hearing, like possible electrical fire in the control panel, a possible fracture in a support beam, I'm not really sure those hold water since they are cycling it, especially if there was a fracture in the support beam. Maybe Joey, who has more coaster knowledge, could have some insight on this. But the fact is, Six Flags has not given a statement as to why, but I'm very sad that I came all the way here and I don't get to ride it.
Well, Demi.
Yeah.
How do we think? Okay, so Miss Tormenta, she is, I've deemed her Miss. She is, he's not a Mr. He's not a they, them. Miss Tormenta, she is a she.
Yeah.
How do we think that she is going to stack up in terms of a thrill coaster? Because the thing that I always think about is this thing, it doesn't look as big in pictures as I think it probably looks in person, because Millennium Force is the same height. And I cannot imagine dropping. I mean, Millennium Force is almost a vertical drop, but like I cannot imagine hanging over the edge like you do on Valraven. Looking straight down 300 feet. It's crazy.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, this park fully needs this because there's really not that many coasters at this park, as you will see when I get that video up. It may be up at this point. No, it's not. No, it will be up. I don't know what day it is. But yeah, it really needs it. But I have to be honest with you, because I've done my fair share of dive coasters, and like it's definitely like taller, but like I don't know, like it's even though I'm mad that I missed it, like it still just looks like a dive coaster, just a little bit taller.
Yeah, the ride model is really not that exciting to me.
It's not.
I've ridden several, and the most exciting one, I think, to me is Yukon Striker, which is, I believe, the second tallest in the world. This is going to be the tallest in the world, the first to be over 300 feet. And while that element does excite me, I do think the only good thing on dive coasters is the drop. And especially if you sit in the back row, this drop is going to feel insane, I do believe. But the issues that we've discussed with Bolliger and Mabillard in the past, there's a little bit of a rattle to their newer coasters. And this one, the bigger you go, the harder it is to, I think, contain rattle.
Right. I mean, I think having done the one in Dorney last year, the newest version of the dive coaster, you know, that definitely was more rattly than, like, let's say the one I've ridden the most would probably be the Griffin over at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which
that was one of the first. And
I love it, but it's also like it's because it's like in the water, and it's like better themed. I don't know. So to me, that one still gets me excited. And even though I'm standing in front of it and it's for sure tall, like it's really like it's the drop, and then it goes around a little bit, and then it has a very slow middle section for that second small drop.
They're one-trick ponies. They
are one-trick ponies. Yeah. But you know, like, I'm glad that park is getting another coaster. I'm glad that it's not like, I guess, my home park that's getting it, because I think that would be kind of boring. My home park is just going to get us the coaster that kills us.
Different vertical drop that has been, which, by the way, since our recent episode on it, they still have not announced a name for Project Purple, but Great Adventures new coaster has been topped off. The track has been completed, and it looks even more diabolical than I think we thought on this last episode, because they put the final pieces of track on. You are going to be outer banking to almost upside down, 375 feet in the air while the cars are spinning. And I'm like, this is making me nervous. And then that vertical drop looks insane. I'm scared too. I'm legitimately scared of this thing. But I do think it's interesting that what you say about Six Flags Over Texas needing this coaster. The last point I want to make on this before we move on to Universal Kids Resort is that park does actually have a significant number of coasters. This will be their 14th coaster. However, the point that you bring up is very interesting, because I do think that we see this is a big symptom of larger parks within the past few years, is that they need more standout coasters. They have the quantity by a mile, but there's not really too many standout coasters at some of these parks. And Canada's Wonderland, where Yukon Striker was one of those that sort of brought it out of its rut. And now Canada's Wonderland has a decent collection. And I think that Six Flags Over Texas, now that the chain is smaller, they've sort of, spun them off into the other enchanted parks, the 7 or 8 parks that they did. This might be a higher investment potential because it's near a bigger population center. So hand in hand with Universal Kids Resort, Six Flags Over Texas, Universal Kids Resort.
You'll see in my video, there's a huge kids area there. It's like better than Great Adventure. I was like praising it. So like, honestly, this, if you are thinking about maybe doing like a kids resort trip, as you'll hear about it when we talk about it, maybe after you see my video, maybe consider like doing one day in Six Flags.
Yeah,
who knows?
Like a little mini Dallas trip. Like there's a lot of potential for that around the country. These little mini destination places, which 1-2 with Six Flags and Universal Kids Resort. Hey, it sounds like a Texas day. All right, that is all for now on Miss Tormenta Rampaging Run. And I don't want to ever hear any of you ever refer to her as anything other than Miss Tormenta Rampaging Run in the future. But you can hang with us as we run over to Universal Kids Resort for our reactions to this brand new Universal Park with AllEars Fry Bucket, making her 3-peep debut, coming right up. Welcome back to the Park Peeps Podcast, where our bays are bellowed, our swamps are sloshing, and our sponge be bobbing with excitement over Universal Kids Resort and our next guest presence.
here to talk all things Universal Kids Resort and to give her reactions to Universal's newest American theme park. Please welcome back a three-peep AllEars Fry Bucket. Welcome back, Fry.
Hi, happy to be here. Happy to talk about this theme park because it deserves more discussion.
Yes.
Convenient for you, right, Fry?
So convenient for me. Right up the road. This is my new local theme park.
Yeah. Fry actually lives
exciting.
inside the theme park.
I actually do. I live in SpongeBob's pineapple.
Oh, wait. Why
Very
didn't you
wet
tell
in
me
there,
that when you
though.
lived there? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, what a joy it has been to experience this park with you, Fry. And because Fry and I were both there, I have to start out with my usual disclaimer. Fry and I were both there for the media day. I was invited on behalf of Entertainment Weekly. I was not invited on behalf of Park Peeps, but my opinions from this are coming from a separate visit. Fry and I did get to experience this park together, and Fry, your content for AllEars, which is a dear favorite of ours at Park Peeps. Everything that's going on over at AllEars, your stuff was just so great, and it was, I think amid Demi has an experience with this from her trip there recently, but your content from AllEars, which everybody should go check out, was being very well received for being very fair, very accurate, and not sensationalized, which I feel like we're going to get into today, some very sensationalized reactions to this park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's a little wild, and not as wild as your face paint that day, though, Fry, I have to say.
Thanks. I really wanted to go all out and do the whole face, but we didn't have time. There was only an hour of park day left, and I had to cover all of the Minions area, so very quickly had to get half of the face paint.
Same.
But I did send my pictures in to our social media girl, and she did not realize who I was. She had no idea that I was Guy Diamond, and she was like, "What?"
And Fry, if you recall, I did force you to send me photos of you driving home with the Trolls makeup on, which I really appreciated. And I'm sure the citizens of the great Texas city were just equally joyed to see you driving down the road like that. I know I would be.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it was a little hard. It was a little hard.
Just a little bit. And also, I made you take some videos for me while you were rushing to get your content. So, I mean, always a good sister. There you are, Fry. Thank you so much for sacrificing time for me.
Anything for you, because that is how you, what was it, slay in a kid's park?
Slay, that's right. We slay and serve in a kid's park. And Demi also served and slayed in a kid's park as well, because Demi was turning looks. Demi was all of Demi's stuff. Everybody should go check out on the Magical Hijinx YouTube channel, because Demi has some really great content.
Yeah. 3 long form videos, you guys, about this park that I went to opening day and then the day after. And just like Fry, I actually was stopped in the park, and someone said, I think you and AllEars have the only real look on this park. And I was like, guess what? She's on the podcast this week. So great timing.
Surprise.
Shout out to that person.
Yes. Shout out to you.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening. And yeah, I mean, I really think that honestly, it's one of my best videos I ever made.
I agree.
Because it's a real honest take on the park, who it's for, and, comparing it to Universal Orlando. And you can make up your mind for yourself. I'm not here to make up your mind. I'm here to point out all of the things that are around you and compare everything and point everything out, including shade and everything, those little things that people are loving to maybe take it to extreme on the internet. I explained. Plus, I did my hotel tour and review, and then I just put out a snack foodie guide video, because you guys, did you know that there's a lot of really great snacks there, and I'm kind of jealous that we don't have them in Orlando.
So many. That is the one thing that really stood out, I think, to me, was the food. And we're going to get into all of this, and I just do have to say, once again, we could not have 2 better people on this pod right now to be joining us for this discussion. Demi and Fry, both of your content from this park has been some of, if not the best, that has come out of these, the opening of this park. So, Demi, your video is absolutely amazing. Everybody should go check it out. I was like live texting Demi as I was watching it. And I literally was like, Demi, like you packed so much in and perfectly hit the nail on the head of what people are getting wrong about this park. And I think when you say comparing it to Orlando, like I want to start there because I think we should discuss a brief overview of the park, all of the lands, and maybe some misconceptions I think that people have about this place before we talk about it. So, to start, this park was announced several years ago, and it did go through a few iterations of concept art. It was initially announced by Universal. There were, clearly we can tell there were some scale backs when they were planning this, and that was partly due to some issues that they ran in with local governments. There are no dark rides that are going to be built here. There was a lot of pushback from the town. There was a lot of landscaping budget that they put into building trees around the park because just to protect the local residents. So that's what Universal was working with essentially here. But they announced this as a Texas destination. It's in Frisco, right outside of Dallas. It's about what, like 20-ish minutes from the airport, if 25. No traffic. Yeah. And it's definitely not this is not a park that you're going to be, if you live in Los Angeles, that you're getting on a plane and spending 4 days like you would go to Universal Orlando. And it was never intended to be that. This is a very small, it's about half the size of Islands of Adventure. It's got 7 lands, which is pretty impressive for a park that small. They're all very cutely themed, and it is meant to be a day experience for kids aged 3 to 8 is the target. Now, there's things that some people can do outside of that age range. There's really great shows. There's really great food. But it's comprised of, as I said, the 7 lands. There's the Universal Kids Resort Hotel. There's Isle of Curiosity, which has Gabby's Dollhouse theming. There's Minions vs. Minions, Bello Bay Club, TrollsFest, Shrek Swamp, Puss in Boots Del Mar, Jurassic World Adventure Camp, and SpongeBob SquarePants Bikini Bottom. So that's a general overview of what this park is, a little brief history of it, although it is more complex. If you go watch some YouTube videos on it, there are some really interesting things that happened during the gestation of this park. But I want to go through and essentially, I think people just want to know, is this good or not? So we'll go through some categories and make a determination on, is it good or not? Or will it fulfill, a good, fun day for you and your family, which I think is the goal of every theme park. So starting with rides and attractions. Most of these rides are what we call off-the-shelf rides, which mean you can go to a manufacturer and say, I want this ride. You pick it out, they drop it off, you build it. It's essentially like a, mass-produced style of ride. Now, Universal did theme these, especially the rides in the SpongeBob land. What do you guys think? Like, I think they're very well, they look really cool, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there's like in the spinning SpongeBob ride, there's a little SpongeBob in the middle. The cars look like those little cars that are underwater in SpongeBob. You've got the Bikini Bottom pineapple. You've got that big submarine spinny thing. I mean, the rides look really cool. Universal put a lot of time into crafting these ride vehicles.
And I think what's so funny, specifically with SpongeBob, is one of the rides, that bus ride, that already exists at Nickelodeon Universe. Mm-hmm. And what's so funny is you will never hear anybody complain about how basic and off the shelf the rides are at Nickelodeon Universe. Yeah. When it's the same, that especially SpongeBob is the same IP. Like there, they have like a swing ride for SpongeBob and the bus, and so it's so funny because there's actually even more SpongeBob here. I mean, the having the pineapple in that giant water play area is fantastic.
It's great.
The full on store. Like I think what we also have to remember is like SpongeBob and Universal Orlando has a store, which is crazy to me, and the character meet and greets. And then this has an entire land with a themed store, the Mrs. Puff boat rides, a spinner like Dumbo style attraction that is very well themed to SpongeBob, a water attraction with Sandy and Patrick that you can squirt water back at the people on the ride, the bus ride, and then a full on Goofy Goobers.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's not fair that kids get to have this when SpongeBob is a millennial show.
Yeah, Fry, what did you
I
think?
deserve this.
Yeah, no, we do.
You do.
Fry, what did you think upon? Because this is the first land you obviously go through the Isle of Curiosity. That's where you enter, and then to the right, if you go to the right, which now we're going to start the debate of: do you start on Universal Kids Resort going to the right or the left? Do you start?
It's right. It's right for sure.
Yes,
It's right.
yes,
It's right.
I agree.
Or do you go straight to Minions?
True.
That's a good point.
That's the France option that Demi had brought us before. France is Minions, Canada is Bikini Bottom, and Mexico is TrollsFest.
Yeah.
We cracked the code.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only right answer.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But so, Fry, what did you think when first going into Bikini Bottom? Because I think that personally, I think Bikini Bottom is one of the most visually interesting lands out there, and one that I think they put a lot of effort into.
Oh, for sure. I think you can tell that they probably put the most effort into the SpongeBob area. It is the biggest, not by a lot, but there's more rides over there. There's full-on little restaurant, and it's very colorful, lots of things to do. In general, all of these rides, like we kind of talked about, you probably see them at your local fair. You probably see them at the carnival. But the whole idea of this entire park is to introduce your kids to theme parks. You're not going to overwhelm them like you might for a week-long vacation at Disney World. But to kind of get them, you're not going to throw them on Velocicoaster. This is not that at all. But just to kind of ease them into the world of theme parks so that they can learn to love it and enjoy being immersed in those kinds of environments. And so I loved Bikini Bottom. It was the first one I went to. I had my 3 little cousins with me, and they were, their ages are 7 to 12, so even one outside of the targeted age. They all loved it. They all had a blast. One of them was telling me all the inconsistencies with the show, or like something that they could have done better. So I thought that was really funny. But they loved it. And I will say, one thing that I've said in all of my content and thoughts is even if you don't get on the water rides, you're still going to get wet, because I stood there in front of that bobbing barrels ride. I got soaked because not only do the targets aim at the other people riding that ride, they're going to shoot you who are just standing there watching, which I think is a way to bring everybody into the fun, even if you're not getting on the rides, but you're watching your kid have fun and then they could shoot you. It's just, it's a way to bring everybody in on the fun. And I loved it. And I'll admit, I did not watch SpongeBob as a kid.
Same.
I
only watched a few episodes right before going to this media event. Wow. But I still loved it.
Yeah.
How are you guys not, how do you miss SpongeBob? It's like, it's so culturally significant.
I
was Joey's a little bit older, so I guess
Joey is older. I was more of a PBS kid. I was watching Arthur.
I was watching Arthur too, but SpongeBob, I mean, SpongeBob, I feel like, is one of those things that no matter what age you are is hilarious. I think that we would just go completely nuts if like there was a fully realized larger scale SpongeBob land over in Universal Orlando.
Yeah, I think that there will be at some point. I think that probably, what's it called, Toon Lagoon? It's probably going to be that at some point, I would anticipate.
That would be fun.
I can't see a world in which that does not happen. And
fun fact, it wouldn't be an Islands of Adventure.
Oh, why don't you think so?
Because it's not based on a book?
Yeah.
Well,
it's not based on written word.
Right, literature. I mean, I do always talk about that, about how Islands of Adventure, when we talk about what's going to replace our beloved Lost Continent. But I do think that if we see Lost Continent go the route of Legend of Zelda or Pokemon, which I think by some stretch of imagination, you could justify Pokemon if you want to say, okay, well, comic book / Pokemon cards is a print media. But if it ends up being one of those two, if it's Lord of the Rings, then it's consistent with literature. But
right.
Yeah, they might have to get away with that rule.
I think that Islands, I don't know if that's a strong enough thematic through line to carry through with Islands.
I mean, it feels like it's a very easy fit to take over Simpsons. Like, you have the whole fast food area that could easily be the Krusty Krab, the Chum Bucket, Goofy Goobers right there, and then make the attraction SpongeBob and, I don't know. It just seems like the store is right there. It just seems like it would all work very well right there. I don't know. Yeah. That's my opinion. But what do I know?
No, I think that, going back to the kids' resort, though, I think that this is, the rides they're serviceable and they are fun, quick things that the kids can do. The Jurassic World Adventure Camp has, I would say, probably the most thrilling rides for kids. I mean, they have the biggest coaster there, which also has the park's only animatronic, which is really cute. At the end, a little bumpy dinosaur comes out, which is so adorable. And that really took me by surprise. I loved that. And there's 2 little drop towers. Then a ride themed to Mr. DNA. I mean, that's just amazing. And it actually looks like a DNA strand. It's really cool. But Puss in Boots, I actually think the best, I'm going to take that back about SpongeBob. I think the rides and attractions in the Puss in Boots Del Mar section look the best. That land, I think, looks amazing. The Spanish architecture and the bell tower and that puppet show. Oh my God. That puppet show is gorgeous. The puppets used in that thing are so beautiful, and they just look so visually appealing in that little theater, and the way when the swings are spinning around. I just think that they got a hold of, when your mom is shooting on an iPhone, she doesn't turn up the contrast or the saturation or the. I think that people they found like someone's mom's TikTok video and screen grabbed it and were like, this is Universal Kids Resort and it's colorless. And I'm like, because when you're in the park, it is not.
It's like the most colorful place
It's
I've ever
very
been.
colorful. Yes, it's very colorful. It's not, sure, the pathways are cement, but I mean, really, are you going to say that if the cement was painted teal and yellow, that this park would be like everybody like, oh, it's so amazing? Like, no, people wanted to hate on something. I do feel they're being unfair. Now, listen, it has its issues. And I do think that maybe the limitations that they faced with some of these rides and attractions, like no dark rides. I do listen, that's not something that I'm going to sugarcoat. That is a disappointment because I do think that Shrek ride probably could have benefited from being a dark ride. I think that they could have ported over that SpongeBob shooting ride from the Las Vegas Circus Casino into the that would have been a game changer for this park.
It would have.
I just, the rides and attractions, I think overall, they're good. They're serviceable. They're going to get the job done when your kid wants to ride a ride. And they might be more disappointed with some than others.
Yeah, I actually feel like for me, because I wasn't really riding the rides. I rode a couple, I rode some of the coasters. I feel like it's more about the vibes and what was so great, for an adult at least, right? Because I'm there covering the park as an adult. I'm not a kid. Kid will love whatever, right? But as an adult who is a frequent visitor of Universal, I felt like I was basically in a very large DreamWorks land. It did not feel any different being there than it does over in DreamWorks land. And you get that from all of the incredible theming, that the characters are out and about. You get to see them and you get to meet them easily. And also the incredible, again, this bringing back to the snacks, why are there more themed and better snacks at this local kids park versus at Orlando? And I think that's where I kind of get annoyed specifically about people not understanding the fact that they just see those little things and they don't see the bigger picture of how colorful it is, how much there is to do, and the overall vibes of the park itself. And I think that's what I think I think what people are seeing online is they'll see a picture, they'll see a small social clip, and they'll think that's the park. And you can't get an idea of the park like that until you, fully visit it, or until you watch something like Fry's video or my video, where we're really breaking everything down and showing you everything piece by piece.
There's even that one part, Demi, where you talk about, you're like, there's one section of this park where, I'm walking along a pathway. And there's nothing between I think it was, you were going from Shrek
to Trolls. Yeah, it's like a bare pathway. The trees haven't grown in. Yeah. And I said, this isn't ideal, but it's one small, and when I mean small, to go between the lands, it's real small. It's one small pathway, and then you're back into the big, colorful Trolls area. And
you take that out of context, it's gonna not look great.
Right. And then the whole idea, and I'm fighting with people online that I just say, hey, just go watch my video. just go watch my video. I show you everything, because everyone's like, oh, there's no shade. And I'm like, on the walkways. And I say that in the video. I'm not trying to say that there isn't that there's no shade on the walkways. I say, look, yeah, there's no shade here, but guess what? There's shade whenever you're waiting for a ride in the queues. There's shade wherever they have like little benches. There's shade in quick services with
Del
fans.
Mar has all those tables. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's shade in the theaters with fans at Trolls and in Puss in Boots. And then there's so much indoor things like that big quick service in Puss in Boots. You have the King Troll X dance place. They just have like that theater where they just play things on a loop where you can go and cool off. Like there's and then on top of it, the amount of water that you can get wet at, like the fountains, like the play areas, Bello Bay, the ride, there's always going to be some sort of
Shrek
place
bucket.
where you can, the Shrek bucket. And what people need to understand too, it's like, as I'm a person who hates getting wet in a dry park, I did Bello Bay, which I absolutely loved. It's an incredible ride.
It's so good.
It's better than Popeyes. And I got completely soaking wet. I dried in 10 minutes because we're not in Orlando. It's dry heat. And that's also the biggest difference between Orlando and Texas, as Fry can very much tell you. When you are in the shade or you are wet and you need to dry, the shade keeps you cool and you'll dry instantly because there is no moisture in the air. And it's a lot more easy to go about your day in the Texas heat than it is over in the Orlando heat, in my opinion, at least.
Fry, when the kids that you were with, did they do the indoor Trolls dance party and also the stage show? Did you take them to both of those?
Yes. So they went without me, but their mom kept sending me updates all day long. Mm-hmm. But they went to both. They loved both. One of the kids... One of them is on the spectrum, and he loved the King Trolls dance party because he could just get all of his energy out and not have to worry about anything else. And he was indoors in the shade. So they loved it. They did many rides multiple times throughout the day. I think they did the Minions ride 5 times maybe. But they just kept wanting to do things over and over and over again. They all loved it. And yeah, they have nothing but good things to say. They want to go back.
That's great. And I think that is the testament to, and when people say, oh, it's for kids, I don't mean that dismissively. I mean, it's like, yeah, you have to understand that children's interest in things is, I think, a bigger spectrum than adults. Adults, by the time you're an adult, you know what you like, you know what entertains you. I feel like adults are harder to impress for that reason because you're more of a formed person. A kid is more open to play and to finding ways to entertain themselves. And what this park, I think, might lack in giant immersive theming, which, yes, as people have pointed out, other theme parks such as Disney and Universal have done really well for a wide spectrum of ages. I think that kids are just more naturally inclined to want to play and to want to make their situation around them fun. And this park has a lot of opportunity and potential for them to do that. There are so many play areas, and the troll dance thing, that was so cool. It's an actual indoor show. It's a black room. There's a lot of neon lights. There's a little screen. Yep. There's somebody leading a dance party. The stage show in Trolls is a giant arena with Trolls costume characters coming out. I mean, it's for the small scale that it is, there is some impressive stuff in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're getting a full-on troll show that you don't even get over at Orlando, and you're in a theater with covering, with fans, with bleachers with backs to them. Because something that I've mentioned a lot too, like this park was very much built with kids in mind, but it was also built with parents in mind of children, and that you can see that with all the things around the park, and I point them out in my video, like the fact that there are built-in kid toilet seats in the toilets. There are backs to the bleachers. That's a big deal. I'll never forget, that's my grandparents left my high school graduation because there was no backs to the bleachers and it was uncomfortable. That's a big deal for a lot of people. The family center has nursing and a quiet room, an adult changing table. There is just a lot of thought that went throughout this. And then it is still a kids park, but you can get Starbucks. There are bar carts around for a drink for the parents, and what I really pointed out in the beginning of my video specifically is if your kids like this IP and they are in this age bracket, you are possibly, depending on their needs, because it's everyone's different, you are possibly better off bringing them to Kids Resort versus to Universal Orlando. Because I think Universal Orlando, while that has a very nice offering for kids, it's one of many things meant for a whole family. To have this specific space for young kids with all that they can do on a much smaller level, where you don't have to plan months and months in advance, you don't have to try to buy Express Pass, you don't have to learn an app, you don't have to take a bus back to your resort. You're really just making your life a little bit easier while you're there. And that's the whole point of the park, too.
Well, Fry, being somebody who lives in Texas and in this area specifically, what do you think? I mean, is this area is it like families? Is it younger couple? Like, what is the sort of general vibe of this area that it is built in? Because I do think that that's also key to understanding why Universal decided to build here.
Mm-hmm. So the theme park is in Frisco, Texas, which is north of Dallas, about a half hour from actual Dallas. You can say you're from Dallas, but then people will say, well, what part of Dallas? That kind of situation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's in Frisco. It is one of it's not newer by any means, but a lot of people very recently have been moving out there. Things are getting bigger. The city is growing. So it's kind of a newer area for families to move out there. It's a really nice area. Lots of things are being built out there. On your way to the kids resort, you will pass the Star, which is where the Dallas Cowboys practice.
Yeah.
So a lot of, I also think the FC Dallas soccer stadium is out there as well. Mm-hmm. So a lot of big things are getting put out in Frisco to bring people out there. But it is there are suburb areas. There's a little bit of city. So there's a lot of things going on for Frisco. And I think Universal kind of knew what they were doing, because more people are just going to keep coming to Frisco. Or if you're in the DFW Metroplex, anywhere in DFW, you can easily get there for a day trip and then go back home. In all of my stuff, I would tell people flat out, I probably wouldn't recommend it to you to fly out there, at least maybe for a little bit. This is definitely more of a locals theme park.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to do the whole 7-week Universal Disney thing, if you want to do maybe 2 days or 3 days, then sure, go check it out. When they first announced this, my immediate thought was it's going to be a Great Wolf Lodge. So if you don't know, a Great Wolf Lodge is an indoor theme park, it's an indoor water park connected to a hotel. And growing up, there's one in the Metroplex. I think I went once or twice. And then I was kind of over it, kind of done with it. And this kind of gives me that same kind of vibes. It is a cool place because you do like wand magic throughout the hotel. So there's a lot of things that you can do with that. But it's a very targeted audience in terms of like age level.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the same thing for me. People with younger kids, they're going to go, they're going to love it for a few years, and then they're going to move on. But it's going to be okay because new sets of kids are going to come in, love it, have their few years here, and then move on to the bigger Universal parks. So that's just kind of the vibe. I do think Universal kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit by calling it a resort.
I agree.
Yes.
I think that's why people immediately got upset. Because if you're talking about Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Kids Resort, they are not, on the same level at all.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it all kind of started.
I think so too. And I think that that's what set maybe people's expectations so high is you call it Universal Kids Resort and it calls to mind the standard. In a way, it's a testament to Universal's, the brand that they have built for themselves, because they do have a reputation of excellence now. But I do think that the title, because let's face it, like general public stuff, they don't necessarily always think of the same things that us theme park nerds do. And I think that if they called this something like, what was the name I was saying, Demi? It was like Kid Zone Fun Center, a Universal concept or something like that.
Yeah, because it used to be like the Woody Woodpecker Kid Zone. So that actually would have worked well. Or even just calling it Universal Kids Park.
Yeah. I think even leading
and hotel.
I think even leading with Universal is probably the wrong move. Because I think that when you put Universal first, it's like people hear Universal. There was people on TikTok. This is a good example. I saw videos whenever the team members' families were first allowed to post content. There was a woman who shared her video, or maybe it was, I don't know who it was. It was somebody posted, and their caption was like, Universal Studios, really? Like Universal Studios Texas. And it's like, no, see, people hear the name Universal and they think Universal Studios. This is not a Universal Studios park. This is a Universal concept. It is a regional Universal concept. So I think the name should reflect that. And I think that is, if the name was different, I truly think that we would be looking at a different reaction right now.
Well, then what would it be? Because it's still the Universal brand.
But I think it would, when you lead with Universal, when Universal is the first letter, or the first word,
Universal?
I think it should have been something like Kid Zone Fun Park by Universal. I think because by Universal denotes that it is something that Universal has done, but it's not a Universal resort. Right. I do think that people have, it's like a positive trigger of like, oh, Universal, it's Universal Studios, let's go. And we already touched on this, but I think atmosphere and theming, I think that we can all agree it's good for what the park is. It's good. The rides and attractions, they're good. Like, I mean, there's not the Shrek ride. I mean,
Shrek is where they missed the mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the swings, scary.
that drop tower in Jurassic that like spins is a 36-inch height requirement, I believe, or even lower, maybe. I don't remember. But like, I was like, wow, that's a pretty intense for a kid's ride.
And Mr. DNA has no height limit, which is very strange. But those swings are pretty intense. They'll get you. Those little Puss in Boots swings, as soon as they started going, me and my friend Abby, we were like, what is going on? This is a little too intense for me.
Bello Bay, I spun like crazy. I don't know about you guys, but like it was like kind of too intense for me.
You don't stop spinning ever, that whole ride.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Then the little whirlpool, I was like, I want to slide down this just on my butt. I want to jump out and just slide down it. Can I do that next time, please? I would like to go down the whirlpool. But Fry, would you like to join me on the whirlpool?
I will absolutely be there. Tell me when.
We can slide down the whirlpool. Demi, you want to come on the whirlpool?
I want to come on the whirlpool.
Okay, we're going to go on the whirlpool. So I think we can all agree on those things. Is there any other attractions or specific things before we move on to food? Any other attractions?
Well, I just want to point out, like, I think the biggest thing was because they didn't paint Bello Bay all the way, that, like, especially when you walk straight into Minions and you look at it on the left and it has that, like, little toilet bowl area. Yeah, and I say it in my video. It is
a toilet bowl.
It is a toilet bowl, like how a water slide toilet bowl type.
Same thing.
The whirlpool.
Yeah. Oh, whirlpool, whatever. I always call it a toilet bowl. I think, like that doesn't look. This is a vibrant, colorful park. Why wasn't that painted? It does not. It looks like a water facility, and the internet saw that and just figured that's the whole park.
Someone called it the brutalist Minions ride.
And then they painted that one section of the ride, and the internet was like, the war is over or something like that. I don't remember what they said.
They put clouds on the one. They put clouds.
They put clouds on it. It was a T Swift reference.
No.
Fry, we are not going there. Fry, we are not doing that.
I just had to do it.
I know you did. You're a loyal fan. You are a loyal fan. But they also, did you see that they painted trees around the Shrek ride too? They painted trees on the walls. So
yeah, I mean, listen, again, it's not everything is perfect, and we're not saying it is. Like the Shrek and the lack of paint on Bello Bay are probably the top two things that are most heavily criticized that deserve some criticism. But just because those two things you're able to criticize them does not reflect the entire park.
Right. Fry, did you do the stores? Did you do the Trolls store and the SpongeBob store? Did you spend any time in there?
I did the Trolls store. I very briefly walked through Jurassic World. Didn't really do SpongeBob.
I did.
So I had a little bit of store experience.
Store?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the word experience. But yeah,
Well,
the Trolls store, honestly,
amazing.
my favorite place in the park.
Those
Team members
They were
are
great.
amazing.
Amazing.
If you need words of affirmation, go to the Trolls store, get your Sparkle On store in Universal Kids Park because they will make you feel like the best person in the entire world. I love it there. They're my favorite people ever.
You know
Sparkle,
what?
glitter, glow.
Yeah, and you know what? They got a disco ball in there. They've got rainbow makeup mirrors in the back. You walk in there, I'm telling you, you know what? This might not be a destination where you're flying across the country to go to, but you know what? I'm taking that back. If cancel your therapy appointment and fly to the Trolls store to get your therapy from the team members there because they will lift your day up.
They will.
Especially if you get trollified and then you come out like I got Poppy and I came out and they're like, oh hell, Queen Poppy, and like they made such a big deal about me, Queen Poppy, being there, which like, yes, thank you. That made me feel great.
It was so cute. They did stores really. I think again, they did. I think a lot of you can tell like they're on the edge of what we could have seen if they did a dark ride or like you know they really kind of went off with the SpongeBob store. The SpongeBob store is really cute. It's really well themed. There's some really cool decorations in there. The Jurassic store not so much. The Jurassic store is a little bit like concrete and you know just pegs on the wall kind of situation. But the Troll store, great.
Amazing.
I loved that. I actually walked out of the Troll store and I was like, can you guys do that again so I can get it on video? And I walked back in and they were like, ah, it was so cute. But bless the Troll store.
Same thing though with SpongeBob. Like you, they open the door for you. They start blowing bubbles at you, and they like welcome you to Bikini Bottom or whatever they're saying. And it's like they're so excited for you. And I felt bad because at one point I had to keep going in and out, and so they do it every time. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
There, people are saying that in their sleep.
They're like, girl, please get your content and leave.
Yes. Thank you for swimming with us. Thank you for swimming with us. Thank you for swimming with us.
Yes, that's what it was.
Oh God, it's so funny.
But speaking of stores, I actually did want to mention, I was surprised that there weren't more. I mean, I think like, because there is, I mean, I guess there's enough within the park, but you have like the big store in the front. And I was surprised that, I mean, I know how much we want to talk about the hotel part, but that there's no Studios store.
That's a topic coming up.
We'll get into it then. But it's just, there's no store in the hotel.
A little preview for what's coming up. Because Demi, I know with your great snack video that we want to get to food and beverage because
yes, we do.
I will leave this over to my two experts who are here on food and beverage in one moment. The only thing that I want to say leading off before I let you two take it with food and beverage is I do believe that this is consistent with what we talked about a few weeks ago, Demi, with what Universal is doing in Epic Universe. And I do think that they are starting really to shine in the food department and really, really, really pushing outside of the expectations of quote unquote normal theme park food. Because the one thing that I will point out that really stood out to me was the Jurassic World Canteen. I thought that the offerings that they had there were so equally palatable for children, but so unique. And the two things that stood out to me, it was the chicken skewers and the beef skewers with rice and this really great yogurt sauce. And it was just like, you know, this very easily could have just been chicken fingers and burgers and pizza, and that was it. But like a chicken skewer and rice and vegetable option, I mean, chef's kiss. And then the
Gluten-free?
Nathan's hot dog empanada dog. It was wrapped in an empanada crust. I was like, I can't eat that because it's an empanada crust, but like, go off. That is really cool. So I was really impressed by that.
Yeah, let's start with Jurassic. I mean, the Dino Nuggets. I mean, like, I know
So
this
cute.
is like, it's so cute, like it's so well themed, but it's Dino Nuggets, mashed potatoes with barbecue, and it's just like it's like a little scene. And as someone who played Dino Nugget theater, it was everything for me. But
Fry, you got those, right?
No, whenever I went at lunchtime, I walked up to the counter and he said, "Hey, just so you know, we're out of the Dino Nuggets." And I said, "Okay, can I get a pizza?" And he said, "We're also out of the pizza." And I said, "Okay, I'm going to go somewhere else." So like half of their menu was not available. Just
I'm so
it was
sorry.
It
was a media
It was a
preview, though, for you.
preview. I understand. I've opened a land before. I can't imagine what opening a whole park is like. So I get it. And it's okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I thought like what I thought about that meal was, even though, it's so hard sometimes to get kids to eat real food, and the Dino Nugget one in particular, like to have the Dino Nuggets that obviously are going to be already appealing to kids, but then like mashed potatoes, they were great mashed potatoes, and then the it was like charred broccoli. It was delicious.
Fry, what was your favorite food offerings here?
I had a few snacks on my theme park day, and for the most part, a lot of the snacks that sorry, there's a fly. Sorry, he was like on my nose. A lot of the snacks that you can find around the park look very familiar, are almost snacks that we have in Universal Orlando, but maybe a little tweaked. I loved the mac and cheese cone from Bellaway Minions. Basically, the mac and cheese cones we get in Epic Universe, just without all the extra stuff on it. I kind of wish... And a minion tot, yes. I kind of wish they had another option for adults, because obviously just cheese and bread, that's going to be for the kiddos, but their parents are probably going to want a little something extra. Yeah. Goofy Goobers, obviously. Lots of ice cream, very fun.
It was so good, that Goofy Goober Sundae.
It was good. Got everywhere. There was ice cream in between my toes.
You were going to say toes. Why, Fry? Why was there ice cream in your toes?
Because I was wearing my Choco sandals so that I could get wet and not worry about it. And it dripped everywhere, and it got in between my toes.
Oh, there's plenty of water fountains to clean it off.
Yeah, just go clean them off with the minions. The minions will go clean them off for you, Fry.
We were fine, but it did happen. And then you've got the troll cones as well.
Yes. Yeah, the troll cones are there. But the thing with the Goofy Goober, they have the bucket for the ice cream. And I guess because during previews, they all kind of like started selling out. And we happened to get our bucket on opening day pretty early. And then it kept selling out. And I had to bring the bucket back with me so that I could show what it looks like in my snack video. And everyone in that restaurant gave me dagger eyes. They were all staring. I was like, I had to hold on to it. I felt like somewhere they were going to fight me for it. Like, it was so funny. I would have loved to have
seen that.
People were like, I heard a team member saying, like, I heard this girl complaining that she drove 6 hours for that ice cream bucket and they sold it out. I'm like, oh gosh, like, come on. All right. But like, so if that's a priority for you, get it right away. But it's very cool. But the sundae itself on top of it, delicious. And I love that.
I also need to sugar, and it was
need to shout out Puss in Boots in Del Mar.
Yes.
Quick service.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Can we talk about that? Because if I was a local, that's where I'm eating every time.
I went in there for lunch because I tried to go to Jurassic and they didn't have any food for me. So I moved on to the next land and I went to Comida Sin Leche. And honestly, I think that's the most underrated restaurant in the park.
Yes.
Like,
100%.
absolutely.
It looks cool too. It looks so good inside.
And it's big and air conditioned with lots of seating.
And I basically had a crunch wrap from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I had what did I have? I had the
taquitos. There's like taquitos in there.
It wasn't taquitos. It was the oh my gosh, I'm gonna
the salad.
Give me a minute.
Oh wait,
no,
what
they
am I
look like
thinking
taquitos,
of?
but
they're not taquitos. They're not a. Oh God, why?
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
It's not tostada. It's like we're in the vein. It's like not a tostada, not a taquito.
I know the word is just escaping me.
Not
right
an
now.
enchilada. I know it's basically a little roll with stuff in it. Yeah. So what is it, Demi? Wait, we're almost there. Demi's looking it up.
I'm looking at my video right now.
They're worth it. They're tostones.
They're so good. It is.
No, not a tostone.
No, it was the
tostada. No.
Yeah.
Fry, what is it? You live in Texas. What is it?
No, I got the.
I don't. You're not.
It was the flautas. It was the
flautas. Yes, flautas. We got there.
Served with consomme at a kids theme park.
Maseca.
It was so insanely good. I mean, I wish I was able to try more. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
That was the best food for me at this whole place, including like the inside the hotel as well.
Yeah. Great food offerings here. I think Universal has really stepped up there. I was going to say the thing that they say on Drag Race that I'm glad I caught myself for not saying, but they really stepped their game up here with their food. Universal is doing that across the board, I think. So I really want to shout them out for that because it's getting really good. And
though I will say, how was it for you as a gluten-free person?
Well, that is what I was going to use to transition, I think, to talking about the hotel. Because I loved start off with the positives with the hotel stuff. I love just food for the food. I really, really loved the bar. The staff at the bar was absolutely amazing. The drinks, oh my God, the Paloma juice box. I was raving to everybody. The Paloma Diamond juice box. I was raving to everyone about the Paloma Diamond juice box. And it is Oscar worthy. And it truly, I saw so many people, my little friends, walking around throughout the rest of the night with the Paloma Diamond juice boxes. And they were like, oh my God, I took your advice. I got the Paloma Diamond juice box. It is not called the Paloma Diamond juice box, by the way, people. But shout out to Paloma Diamond.
Shout out to Paloma Diamond.
We love you, girl. But that was great. The bar was really cute. So as a gluten-free person, this is my thing. This is my biggest criticism of the whole park is I do think it is kind of crazy to not have gluten-free alternative options. I'm not just talking about stuff that's naturally gluten-free. Like they have a decent amount of things that are just naturally gluten-free in the park, like the chicken skewers. I believe those are gluten-free. Don't hold me to any of this because I don't have a menu in front of me, but I believe those ones were gluten-free. But I'm talking about, there's a lot of kids who have food allergies. And if this is a park aimed at kids, you have to, in 2026, you need to have gluten-free pizza crust, you need to have gluten-free chicken tenders, and you need to have gluten-free burger buns. It is crazy to me that they have none of that. So, especially because the Orlando park is so good about doing that. Same with Disney. Disney is really the best at doing gluten-free stuff, but Universal is really getting good at, I think everywhere has gluten-free bun options at least now. So it's like, that was really shocking to me that they didn't have that at the hotel. And I also I got the chicken sandwich at the hotel, which tasted amazing, but I got it on just a lettuce wrap instead of a bun. The chicken sandwich was so good. However, I don't know if either one of you tried the vegetable curry.
I knew not to try the vegetable curry.
I think Fry, someone said to me there, they were like, well, yeah, it was vegetable curry at a hotel. What did you think and it's like, it was not good. It was really, really not good. But as Demi's videos, I will not be returning to the vegetable curry. And yes, I will not be returning to that. But other than that, I think the hotel food was a little lacking. But transitioning to talk about the hotel in general. Again, absolutely adorable. I think that the hotel, if I had to pick one standout thing from this entire resort to be like, this is the thing, that hotel was so impressive to me. I even was saying to people, I was like, they should build a kids hotel in Orlando. It just was so cute. It's a really good budget option. The rooms, oh my God, the rooms are adorable. They have little shapes. It's not plastered with, the characters, but all of the shapes in the rooms. On the armoire, there's a yellow cylinder to represent a minion. It's not a minion face, but there's a little trolls kind of light thing on the light fixture. And the only complaint that I have about the rooms. Because I was serving on those twin beds. I've never slept in a twin bed before, and I was serving on those twin beds. The walls are even thinner than Cabana Bay. And Cabana Bay has the thinnest hotel walls I've ever heard in my life. These were even thinner. I could hear there was a giant storm. Now, I have to disclaim, this The hotel part, yes, that was what I'm talking about with the hotel. That was from the media trip. So I am talking about one thing that I experienced here just for the sake of a story. But there was a crazy storm the day before I left the media trip. And the power went out in the hotel that night.
And it happened to us too.
Crazy. And the walls are so thin that when the power went out, I could hear the girl in the room next to me say in the most normal voice, she went, "Did the power just go out?"
Oh no.
Oh.
I don't think I maybe had anybody in the room next to me because I didn't hear anybody, but then I think maybe at one point we thought I'm in a room with like 3 other grown adult women. And we were like, it was like kind of late. We were just like laughing about something and we weren't sure, but we thought like we heard somebody do like a knock on the wall to like tell us to shut up, but we weren't sure. So even though I didn't hear anyone, maybe
it was
heard
my
us.
spirit. Because I don't like noise terrorism, so that was me. That was my spirit.
No, of course. I don't want to. I mean, I didn't think we were that loud, so then that would have been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But do you know, I didn't get to try much food at the hotel because
Vegetable curry.
there's no food at this hotel after 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So, and not just like where you can order food. So the bar closes at 10. So from 9 to 10, you can go to the grab and go section, but there's nothing in the grab and go except for Uncrustables and like a couple of snacks. And then there's only a small little and then at 10 o'clock, you can't even get that. And you can't even go to the freestyle machine at 10 o'clock. They shut everything down. And then the front store only has a little bag of beef jerky, which, oh my gosh, we did buy. It was like $9 for the tiniest bag. And then it was mini Doritos or like mini Cheetos and then candy. I literally had to DoorDash Torchy's tacos.
Yeah.
Ooh, yum.
Which not complaining, because as someone who does not have that in New York, heaven. And I just found out that there's one in between Disney and Universal.
Wait, Fry, I have to say, maybe we can DoorDash the next time I'm there. We can DoorDash from Chicken and Pickle.
I don't know if they DoorDash, but we can try.
So I texted Fry on my way to this resort. I passed this place.
Literally the first thing that he texts me after he lands in Texas. And he goes, "What's a chicken and pickle?"
And I thought that Fry was going to have this really smart-ass response where I thought that Fry was going to be like, "Oh, well, it's a place that serves chicken and pickle-inspired dishes." But no, the response was even crazier and more earnest than I thought, because it was like, "Oh, well, it's this place where, like, you know, you can play pickleball and they also have chicken, and so it's chicken and pickle." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it now."
That's hilarious.
It was craziness, and I would love to dabble in chicken and pickle the next time I'm in Texas. But
I'll take you.
Thank you, Fry. I would really appreciate that. But what a nice little hotel. I mean, it really is. It's colorful. The cafe is just so nicely. It's just the colors are so in your face. It feels cozy. It feels the pool. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that the pool doesn't go deeper than 4 feet.
Yes,
like the deep end is 4 feet, and it's just like you can take your alcoholic drinks out to the pool as long as you make sure to get a plastic cup. So there's a gym in there. It's a
the gym
really
is nice
hotel. Yeah, it's a very, very, very nice hotel, and I really, really, the staff was also really great. The staff was super friendly, so I really enjoyed that. But so I think that the key, before we talk about, I think, combating some of these criticisms full head on, I think that the key that a lot of people are forgetting with this park is not only that this park was designed as a concept, as a regional concept for local people to go to and like, hey, have a fun day with the kids at the Universal Kids Resort and kind of get a dash of that cartoon IP magic, but then also, it's a quick, fun day, and the hours aren't too late, and it's not that hard to get to. But I think a lot of people are forgetting affordability is really key here. And when you have tickets that start at $54.99. Yes, like on weekends, there's a sliding scale, as with most any park, there's a sliding scale. But at $54.99 for a one-day ticket, a family of, let's say, 3 who maybe don't have the means to, because when you go to Orlando, if you live in Texas, you can't just drive to Orlando, go to the park that day, and then drive home that night. You need to fly. You need minimum 2 nights at a hotel. You need park tickets. You need food in the park. You need to get to the park and the hotel. You need to get back to the airport to fly home. Most likely have to check luggage. And it's like, that can be for a family of 3, let's say a 1 day. If you live in Texas, you're a family of 3, you're flying down to Orlando to go to those parks. That's $1,000 easily minimum. And a lot of families don't have the means to do that. And I think that people are forgetting that a family of 3 could go to this park 1 day for the price of maybe what it costs for 1 ticket on a peak day to get into Epic Universe in the summer.
Yep.
And that does not include the Uber to there. That does not include the hotel stay. That does not include the airfare. So this is my concluding note on this whole thing is that I feel when gauging affordability, it can get a little bit elitist and honestly a little condescending and rude for people to be talking about this park the way that they are while dismissing the fact that a lot of the core audience, a lot of the people that want to be a core theme park audience simply don't have the means and can't afford to do so on a regular basis. And this, for the residents of Frisco, Texas and the surrounding areas, is a really great option for them to have something that is affordable that they can go to. And I love that. I think it's a really great thing. And I think we could see it replicated at a lot of places around the country. So Fry, what do you think, like your sort of overall, I guess, absorbing and seeing the criticism that this place has gotten? And then how would you either combat or agree with maybe some of the criticisms that it's gotten?
I think in general, people just like to hate on the internet, and this was the thing to catch it for a few weeks. You also looking at it on the grand scheme of things, we kind of already talked about how it's attached to that Universal brand, which kind of made people have higher expectations, but people don't have these criticisms about Peppa Pig Land or Legoland.
Yep, or Legoland.
Like, all of these little theme parks that are geared towards smaller kids, people aren't saying all that about those. They don't say that there's no theming at Peppa Pig when it looks the exact same. It's just a different IP. So I think in general, people were just finding stuff to hate on. And I also, this might be a little controversial, a little crazy to say, but I think most of the criticisms comes from people who don't have kids, who go to theme parks as an adult by themselves, and they're mad that this is a theme park that they can't go to by themselves.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, they probably thought they could with all the IP. They love SpongeBob, they love Shrek, they love all that. But, like, kids, yes, of course, deserve great theming, and they do deserve all of these great things. But this is a little experiment to see if Universal could build a regional theme park. And if it does well, maybe they will do more across the country. And I would love that. And they could do different IP so that eventually you could hit all of them and hit all of these different themes and characters and rides. So I think people, in the most part, people just really like to criticize on the internet. And they criticize before they actually see something for themselves. And they might be a little jealous that they can't go. Yep. So it's just a lot of things.
Hear that, Peppa Pig?
Yeah. I think this is a great park. I think they did it really, really well. I've said it in all of my stuff that we need to manage our expectations because it's not this huge, grand theme park like we're used to in Florida. This was made for a specific target audience. And if you look at it through that lens, it absolutely 100% delivers on what they set out to do.
Very well said, Fry. And Peppa Pig, we're coming for you.
Well,
I love Peppa Pig.
Yeah. I think the biggest criticism that people have when I mention, like, it's like a Legoland or it's like a Peppa, they're like, well, it's the Universal brand that we expect. And that's where, like, I don't know how to even, like, come back with an argument other than it's not Universal. You can go to Universal if you want that. This is their version of a regional park. But because the word Universal, and I think Joey is right about the whole name thing, because people love Universal and because the theming, especially something like Epic came out last year and is so amazing, to go from that to hearing Universal's name for that to this is where everybody is starting to get their wires crossed. But that's so unfortunate to have your mindset in that space and to not see it for what it was meant to be and for what it is. And on top of it, I honestly, I don't care if sounds rude. If you've never been to this park, I don't care about your opinion. Yeah. I just don't. Because you didn't experience it. If you go and you experience it and you still feel the same way, that's fine.
That's fair.
But you will never get an idea about what this park is like until you are actually there. And I think what I think is really fun about this whole thing is how I kept saying it's all about the vibes. If I, for some reason, no longer could travel to Orlando to Universal
on your
anymore.
Wooden legs.
Bringing
it back to that episode.
If I could no longer go to Universal, or if I could only go like once every few years, if there was a Universal Kids Park near me, I could potentially just go to get some of my Universal
little hits.
Fix.
Yeah.
It's like everybody got so upset that the Disney stores closed because that's where people would get their little Disney hit. You know, in between. If Disney built a park like this, like these little regional parks, do you like people would still have like these criticisms, whatever.
Go off, Demi.
But I think it's literally it's just this is like Fry. Fry is lucky that she still gets to go to Orlando, but like maybe Fry doesn't do that anymore. She has this park right there if she needs to get a little Trolls fix or a little Minion fix.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm gonna go into Sparkle Glitter
Glow.
Get a
Shrek
You sparkle,
you know
use
what I mean?
glitter, you glow.
Yeah, I think that's like I'm really excited for this to be duplicated and put in places that are more accessible to people. I did not grow up going to Universal or to Disney World. I went to those small little parks like the Land of Make-Believe, which is meant for children. There's Dutch Wonderland,
Idlewild, and Storybook Forest.
Exactly. All of these, Ride Playland, all of these, Adventureland for the New Yorkers and Kona,
Peppa Pig Park.
So it's all of these. I have that. This is why, like, it bothers me as somebody who has been covering and going to these parks my whole life and covering them professionally for over 5 years. It just bothers me that I feel, and people are like, "Why are you yelling? Why are you so passionate?" Because I have ADHD, like, where I have that justice thing where like I have this passion, like I need justice, and I feel like I'm screaming into the void about like everybody is just blowing this into out of proportion, and I'm an island, and you're like you're all wrong. You're not looking at it right. Hello, here's the real thing. It's over here. I covered it right. I'm not praising it. I'm telling you everything you need to. Like, hello, and then everybody's like, they're paying you.
They see their moms. They see the mom's iPhone picture from Team Member Day that's taken in the lowest possible angle and saturation settings. And they're like, this park's a flop. I'm like, how about you come here and you experience it? As somebody who doesn't like theater shows, I sat and saw that Trolls thing. I was like, oh, this is pretty impressive. Like the puppet show. I thought the puppet show was pretty cute for Trolls in Del Mar. Or not Trolls in Del Mar.
Because
Trolls in
Del Mar.
That's the stuff that like is literally things that are very similar to what you will find in a Universal Orlando park. Like they did a really good job about like balancing what is something that you may find in the real Universal and the things that make this park more regional.
Yes. And I think that the main thing, the way that you can sum up this park best is if Universal did a family fun center or something like a Great Wolf Lodge or something like Nickelodeon Universe inside these malls. If Universal did something like that, but did it to the quality that you would expect Universal to apply to a pre-existing template like that, that's what this park is. And it's perfectly fine. It's inoffensive. It is fun. It's cute. It's going to make you smile. It's going to make your kids smile. It's great. So the last thing that I want us to cover is I want to see, because obviously this is a more regional place, and I don't think Universal would have done this if they intended for this to only be a Frisco, Texas destination place. Which cities or regions do we think that this would be ideal for? Now, my first one, I will say, is Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I think that they very easily could and should put this in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, because then you can open it up to, because it gets colder up there, you could have a Grinch land. You could have a Grinch Christmas land. You could do little things, have events like that. I'm sure there might not be as much local government red tape that you might have to get around. So maybe you could do some dark rides and stuff in there. But that's my pick, is I think Pigeon Forge, Tennessee would be a really, really great one.
I really want them to build one near Legoland, New York. It's like an hour and a half outside of New York City. And I know they probably will, if they do decide to build near New York, I don't know if they will build in New York because there's a lot of taxes in New York, and they may just end up building it near like Sesame Place in Pennsylvania, or maybe near Hershey in Pennsylvania, or Knoebels, or Dutch Wonderland in Pennsylvania, another park that's like meant for children, which I get it, but I'm so tired of having to go to Pennsylvania for my quote unquote local parks. And for me, if I wanted to bring like my nephews to like Legoland, that's easy. And I want to do that, but with Universal, it's hard. It's not like an easy trip to take them to Dutch Wonderland. That's like a whole thing to do that. It's more hours away. So I think for the New York City area, either the upstate near Legoland, or if it's possible, out east on Long Island, like near Splish Splash or something. I don't know how much land is there. I don't know if that's probably a bad idea for traffic, but I don't know, just something that's not so far for New Yorkers, because we love Universal.
Or even we'll have to see how Horror Unleashed is doing, but somewhere, I think that something like this almost might be better than Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas, but
Las Vegas, yeah.
I think that another place that I could see this going is maybe like the Chicago area, or
Horror Unleashed.
I forgot about that. The rumor that I've heard is North Carolina is where that's where they're looking at the next one.
That could be a good spot.
But Fry, what comes out to you as a place where this could go?
Honestly, Utah.
Oh, because they have Lagoon. There's the
but
Lagoon
also
theme park.
just, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about Mormon wives here, but like lots of little kiddos, just a little regional theme park. Maybe Utah, because kind of in the drier area a little bit. But I also thought randomly one of the Dakotas could be fun. Just thinking of like Midwest.
Yeah.
Just so that other people who probably can't all the time. It's very easy for Texas because I'm kind of in the middle of Florida and California. So those are kind of easier for us to get to. So just somewhere that, more up north, Midwest.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh my God. Niagara Falls. This would be perfect for Niagara Falls, because you have, not only do you have
Burger Coaster.
The Burger King coaster, your days are numbered. But
we have to go.
we do have to go. I would love to go there. But you have, not only do you have Buffalo, New York, right across, which has a big suburban population, but you have Toronto, Canada, an hour and a half near there. And I think that oh my gosh, if you could get around the sort of dark ride restrictions, and I think that they would take, obviously, what they learned from the opening of this one and apply it to somewhere like Niagara Falls. You could have a monster hit on your hands with this, I think, in a place like Niagara Falls. So,
did you say a Hugh Monster?
A Hugh Monster hit. Trolls in Del Mar, SpongeBob Adventure Camp, and Bikini Bottom Fest.
I think we're going to see it definitely open up more in warmer climates first. Because once you start opening it up to an outdoor park to a colder climate, there's more things involved and closures during parts of the year. So maybe we'll see how that goes.
We shall see. Well, Fry, is there anything else that you want to add on Universal Kids Resort, or anything we didn't cover other than Peppa Pig, watch your back?
No, don't say that. I love Peppa Pig. I was saying that people don't get mad at her, but they're getting mad at Universal. No, we shouldn't be mad at anybody.
Yeah, we shouldn't be mad at anybody. I'm just kidding. I would never beat Peppa Pig up.
Okay, good.
I would never beat her up. But Bluey? No, I'm just kidding.
People are going to come for you for that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I just started watching it.
You better watch out.
I love it. I just started watching it. I think it's so cute. Love Bluey.
Love Bluey.
Love Pink.
Love Pink.
No, I really did just start watching Bluey, though. It is really cute.
Okay, good.
But yeah, everybody check out Fry's coverage and our dear friends at AllEars. Check out all of AllEars coverage. Y'all are always doing the best there. And Demi's also coverage of this park on the Magical Hijinx YouTube channel. Everybody should check that out as well. There are 3 videos marked up triple cost. So that is, there's a lot of great content out there on this park. And if you know where to look, you will get the real deal. So
Yes.
I think you all should tell us in the comments, though, how do you feel about Universal Kids Resort so far? Commenting and subscribing really helps us stay on top of the theme park content. But for now, that's it for our Universal Kids Resort overview. We hope you feel emboldened to make a decision that is right for you and your family when it comes to this new park.
And thanks again to Fry. Thanks, Fry, for being here again as a repeat. Is there anything you want to plug before we go?
I guess I'll just say, follow me and my team at AllEarsNet. We're on YouTube and social media. If you want to follow me personally, AllEars Fry on Instagram. But yeah, thanks for having me. I love it every time. This is still the only podcast I've ever done.
And we'll keep you.
Marked up triple cost. That's right.
Thanks, Fry. And please follow us at Park Peeps Pod, at Joey Nolfi, and at Magical Hijinx. That's Hijinx on social and, of course, on YouTube. And please leave us a comment and subscribe and rate the podcast. And tune in next week as we return for another all-new episode. Until then, see ya in the swamp.
Or see you under the swamp, Peppa Pig.
She's going to get mad at you.
Oh no.
She's sleeping in Bikini Bottom tonight.
No, not Peppa Pig.